is whole and complete. That is all that is to be accepted. To accept perfection, to accept innocence, to accept light. That is who you truly are, what you truly are, and all identities of littleness and even bigness fall away, and love is revealed. To accept is to trust. To trust in the teachings that the Masters have sent, that the Masters have offered. All Masters offering the same truth, the same light, the same love. No matter what the words, no matter what the perception of differences in vibrations or presentation, love remains as love. Harmony remains as harmony. Peace remains as peace. Light remains as light. In this moment, finding the willingness within to accept innocence, wholeness, harmony, and peace. And the willingness in this acceptance to release all beliefs of this day that may have been about accomplishment, succeeding, figuring things out, knowing of all kinds, and just come here into this moment and rest. Resting all thoughts, resting the mind into the heart of God. Allowing any thoughts that may have wanted to leap from the past to the future in this day to be given into love, to be relinquished, placing the future into the hands of God, allowing love to lead and to reveal the way. The Spirit of love, beckoning. And your yes follows that beckoning, answers that beckoning. And breathing into this moment, the willingness to relinquish and release humanity from all perceptions of limitation. The willingness to forgive all false identities that say, I am different, you are different. How you look, how you talk, what you think means different things and makes a separate world. But surrendering it all into love. And breathing into this moment, breathing deeply and fully, and paying attention to see where you forgot to breathe today, fully and deeply, being present in this moment. present and available for love, aware of this moment, aware of servicing love in this moment. The willingness to offer humanity in this moment, peace and harmony, light and love. And the willingness to release all perceptions of battle, all perceptions of differences, all perceptions of separation that shows up in any way. And the willingness to open the heart and breathe in this moment, breathing fully and deeply. Breathing in through the nose, saying yes to love and letting everything out through the mouth, everything that you thought was about holding, tension, control, knowing of all kinds, letting it all be breathed out into the universe, into love. Everything's surrendered. And breathing deeply and fully, inviting the throat to open as you breathe deeply, willing to receive love. Letting the neck go, all the ideas of what the neck means, all the ways that the neck is held, believing that there is tension needed of any kind, releasing that belief. Breathing into the spine, inviting the spine to open and be surrendered into love. Releasing the shoulders, arms and hands into the hands of God. Breathing. And breathing into the heart and inviting the heart to come forward, open, available, undefended. Nothing to hold back, nothing to protect, nothing to defend. And breathing into the belly, surrendering the organs into the hands of God. Surrendering the hips and thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet, all surrendered into love, into God. And finding the prayer of the heart, the willingness to be the instrument of love. Letting the body be the servant of love. And as we breathe, breathing into the emotional body, surrendering the emotional body into the hands of God. No longer willing to have the mind run the emotional body. No longer willing for fear to be expressed through the emotional body, but willing for the truth of God to express through the emotional body. The light, harmony, peace, joy, compassion, all expressed through the yes. And breathing. And breathing into this moment, and with your mind's eye, opening to the divine union that is here, present in this moment. That there are no different individuals, different people, different forms, but there is only one heart, and allow that connection, that awareness to, in this moment, find the whole union of love. One heart and one breath. Here, in this infinite circle of love, we are one. One heart and one breath. There is only one presence here. It is the life force of God. And within this life force we live and move and breathe as one. This sanctuary is filled with love. This universe is all of love. Accepting, inviting, embracing, remembering. Allowing this prayer that is calling you to remember strength, to remember where strength comes from, to let go of the belief of self-strength and opening to the holy union of strength, the strength of God, the strength of light, the strength of love, the strength of peace, the strength of harmony, the strength of love. Oh, my Father, give me strength, give me courage on this road, to be a child of yours on earth and tread the path the Masters showed. Oh, my Mother, help me love, give me comfort to be aware, to obey these sacred teachings. It was your Son who showed the way. Oh, my Master, your compassion can see through this pain, for it was you who came to earth to release us from these chains. Oh, my Father, I am yours. Give me comfort to be aware. Send your angels here to guide me on this sacred path of the sun. Oh, my Father and my Mother, who rule the world of love, send your angels to receive me through the gateway of pure love. Give me strength, give me courage as I choose to release all beliefs of limitation and separation. As I step into the unknown and yet will remember and remember and remember the familiar vibration, the familiar love, the familiar of oneness. That ancient memory that is stirred and opened and followed. Allow this prayer to shake the heart into awareness. Allow the sleep trance to be shaken in this moment as the truth of love is offered. As you meet that truth, open the door of the heart and invite the beloved. This prayer is a prayer that affirms the truth of who you are. It is about you, but it is for you now because you're here to remember and to accept the harmony of love and light. I am life, I am the path, I am the pure and eternal love. I am the key that opens the door that returns remembering into God, into oneness. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. Where there are beloveds gathered in the name of love, I am here. I am the light, I am the torchbearer. I am the love, the innocence. I am the child, I am the spirit. I am the divine truth of love. Sua vida, só caminho, eu sou pura eterna amor. Sou a chave da porta estreita que hoje me levantou, Senhor. Estou aqui, eu estou lá, eu estou sempre em todo lugar. Onde estiver irmãos reunidos em meu nome, eu ali estou. Sou a luz, sou o tocheiro, eu sou o mestre ensinador. Sou filho, sou pai, sou Espírito Santo e sou vosso Redentor. To accept that you are the light, to accept that you hold the key that opens the door of remembering, that you are life itself, and that you are the path. Because as you walk the path of love, you are the path of love. There can't be no separation between the two. It's all love. And yet, while you still are believing in separation, that you gladly put each foot in front of the other on the path and let the path be filled with flower petals of ease and harmony, willing to let go of the belief that the path to love is dangerous, that the path to love is hard, that the path to love is a battle in and of itself, the willingness to let go of the belief in battle in every way, and to humbly open the heart and take the hand of love and let it lead you. The beloved who is known as Hafiz comes again, always here, always offering love. Every master is here. All of love is here. All beings of light right here. Nothing missing. Nothing separated. The sole heir to the king. Perhaps for 1 minute out of the day, it may be of value to torture yourself with thoughts like, I should be doing a hell of a lot more with my life than I am because I'm so damn talented. But remember, for just 1 minute of the day, with all the rest of your time, it would be best to try looking upon yourself more as God does. For God knows your true royal nature. God is never confused and can only see love in you. My dear, Venus just leaned down and asked me to tell you a secret, to confess. She is just a mirror that has been stealing your light and music for centuries. She knows, as Hafiz does, that you are the sole heir to the king. And to accept and to live as the divine. In this beautiful offering, Hafiz teases the false identification with worry about talent, with worry about what you're doing and how it looks and what you're accomplishing and what you think you're succeeding. And instead says, put that aside. Spend 1 second a day with that if you must, and the rest of the time accept your birthright as the divine, as the heart of God, as the light. And don't worry about not knowing what that means, how that looks, how that could be possible. It's your acceptance that vanishes and banishes the knowing of a false identity. All day long, you have this beautiful choice to let go of a false identity, something that you've made up that says, I know, that says this is who I am, this is what the past means, this is what the future should look like, this is what everything means. And that willingness to just drop in and rest and accept and join how love sees you. Perfect, complete, innocent. It's not too much. You, in the world, settle for such little tiny amounts and blow them up like you're blowing up a balloon to make them seem impressive. But they can't touch the glorious beauty, the glorious innocence, the glorious internal, eternal life. Why settle? Why settle for something that is not the truth of you? Why settle for a tiny little made-up kingdom when the whole universe is yours and is you? And you don't even have to do anything to earn it. There's nothing for you to do, to prove, to fix, to accomplish in this perfection. Just acceptance. Yes. All day long. With all the rest of time, it is best to start trying to look upon yourself more as God does. As the light. As the wholeness that is in need of nothing, that everything is already perfect. Hafiz wanted to offer another Interesting, the classroom. Interesting, the classroom where God says, forget all you think you know about me. That way some real awareness might dawn. It's so simple. Let go of what you think you know and let the light dawn. The light is here. Love is here. Love is all that there is. Opening that doorway. The sole heir to the throne, to the king. So the ego would like to take that and make it, oh, it's about me. It's me. What I think I know about me. But the sole error is in the joining with every heart. You cannot recognize the sole error of the king without seeing it in everyone. This is why this classroom, this schoolroom, is so perfect, because the ego has fragmented the belief of separation into 9 billion different bodies and the forms of everything that appears to be separate in this world. And yet everywhere you look is the divine. Everywhere. There isn't anything that is not the truth of the divine, of God, of love. And everything is one with you. This the mind cannot grasp. The mind that believes in separation, there's no way that you can be a good enough thinker to wrap yourself around that, because as soon as you try to wrap yourself around it, you make it into a concept. And as soon as it's a concept, it is in limitation. And it has to be tried to be made a concept out of something that you've known in the past. So to accept it with your heart and to truly want to see the beloved, the light of God in everything and in everyone, that's the schoolroom. To withdraw meaning from everything is to step into the not knowing. It's to withdraw it. So your initial reaction is always to put meaning on everything. That's just the habit. It's how the mechanism of the ego identity functions. You've never known anything else other than as an ancient memory of remembering oneness. But in this world, there's no way except to believe and accept that your meaning that you're giving everything has validity and that it's right. Because it's what you see, it's what you smell, it's what you taste, it's what you hear, it's what you feel. It's all right there as evidence all the time. All the time. Except for those exquisite revelation moments, those miracle moments where the light dawns. Maybe that light dawns for a second, but there's all of a sudden an awareness beyond comprehension, beyond the identities of form and space and levels and degrees, and you just step out of it for just that moment, or sometimes it's for longer than a moment, but you are aware of another world. And in that awareness is your strength. In that awareness, the seed is planted. The seed that you can return to, not to try to recreate an experience, not to try to conjure up an identity out of that moment, that timelessness. And it holds you. But when you're not in that awareness, what is given to you is a deeper and deeper trust. Trust is not something that comes just spiritually. You have trusted your world. You have trusted it to be a problem. You have trusted it to be a battle. You have trusted it to be difficult. You have trusted it to be a place where you try to eke out an okayness, or you try to eke out a good life as opposed to a bad life. But even when you're trying to eke out a good life, you're on the run. You're on the run from the bad life. You're on the run from the fears within the world, the belief of scarcity within the world. So no matter how much you formulate a better life, there is always that sense of pain underneath the surface that says this, it's not doing it. It's not cutting it. It's never enough. And through that never enough are all addictions born. We have in the world the belief of obvious addictions: alcoholism, drugs, sex, money, food, purchases, relationships. There's addiction in all of those elements, because the more that you seek through those means to find wholeness and peace, the more you realize it's elusive. It doesn't work. It's always just out there out of reach. So the ego convinces that, well, I just need to do this better. I need to take more drugs. I need to have more sex. I need to have more relationships. I need to buy more stuff. I need to own more things. Somehow I'm going to get there. But every beloved who has found their way to questioning, this cannot be all that there is. Even if I make it to the pinnacle top, I am already suspecting that I will not find peace. I will not find harmony or joy. I will find more of the same. Because every achievement has been temporary. Graduation from college or the promotion of a job is a terrific example of the temporary. The temporary is you get the job, you get the promotion, you graduate, and you get about 5 minutes where there is a sense of satisfaction and a pleasure from what you've accomplished. And then the search begins again for the next thing to conquer, the next thing to get, because it is never going to bring you to a place of wholeness and peace and harmony. But there is a road. The road is definitely the road of letting go of what you know. But it is also the road of service. The road of service, offering love and offering the truth of love to a beloved, and stepping out of the way, not trying to get something from that moment, but willing to offer love, opens the door and opens the door and continues to open the door to love. Because you are no longer giving to get. You are offering love without expectations, without conditions. This love without conditions, by the amount of words that are spoken, sounds like it should be a piece of cake. But the entire ego identity is built on getting. So the ego will take anything, and make it about getting. Subtly, under the shadows, there is the kidnapping of the service to get. Then the ego convinces that if you look like you're offering service, as long as you're looking like you're offering service, that's as good as actually offering service. But that doesn't work either. Because after you have used the costume of service, there is still a sense of emptiness. There is still that dissatisfaction within that you didn't get what you wanted. It didn't fill that space within. It didn't fill the void. Why is there such a fear of giving without getting? Because it is a fear. It is an absolute fear. It's like counting how many pieces of pie there are and then counting how many beloveds there are to make sure that you're going to get a piece of pie. Mm. You can do it subtly, but you're still doing it, and it's still fear. Everybody becomes really good at counting, like without anybody knowing it. And then counting how many pieces have to be given out. The belief of scarcity is holding the reins. The fear of serving love, of offering love unconditionally, which means to offer the truth of love to every beloved, and to see every beloved as the holiness of God. Why would it be so difficult to look through the perception to the truth of every beloved if you truly wanted to? Why would that be so difficult? It's because of the belief of scarcity. You're afraid of opening your heart and offering love because you don't actually trust, believe that that love is the abundance of life itself. And you believe that it's your love that you're giving out, that you made the love, that it's the little bit of love that you believe you have within you, and you don't want to really not have as much. And you're not recognizing that when you say, yes, I'm willing to love, and the heart opens, you're opening to the abundance of love, and there is a never-ending supply. It's a never-ending supply. It's abundance personified. And what is it to see the beloved when everything in you is wanting to see the wrongdoings, the limitations, the wounding, the difficulties in another? Why is it so difficult to see, or it seems so difficult to see the divine? Because you're seeing a reflection of yourself. Because you believe that you are damaged and wounded and lacking. And yet, they go so together, because there is really no other beloved. The reflection that you're seeing is you, and every beloved is the oneness. Every beloved. And as you offer love, you are opening to the divine that is within you. You are making contact with the innocence within. The wholeness, the abundance, the lack of scarcity. In the spiritual journey, it is essential to question. It is essential to question where your devotion is. If you are devoted to love in the moment, then love will flow. If you have no agenda, love will flow. If you have no story made up about what everything means, love will flow. But the only way that the identity of separation can be healed is by questioning what is running in the moment. What is being chosen in the moment? What do you truly want in the moment? Mm-hmm. It is such a deep offering of love. Self-love, love, universal love. It is such a deep offering of love to truly want to offer love to another, and not a lie, not a story, not a perception, not an opinion, not an identity of the past, but to truly want to offer love. Every master that has walked this earth came to offer that love and to demonstrate that offering of love. That's all. It was follow me and recognize that I'm offering love and that there's nothing else here. The element of the divine that we have identified as Jesus came to demonstrate love.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That it was nothing personal and that there was nothing to get. And that there was no agenda and no needing to prove his worth. Nothing needed to get from anyone. Always offering. What if, when Jesus walked the earth, Jesus would have, in Hafiza's word, said, I better do a better job of my life. I'm so talented. And I'm not really, nobody's recognizing how talented I am. I'm not doing a very good job with this identity. That's why everybody was so shook up. It's because they couldn't join him in their ego identities of, I have to prove my worth, I have to prove how talented I am, I have to get something from everyone. I need to be the top dog, I need to prove my worth, I need to climb the ladder. No climbing any ladder. Nothing to win, nothing to get. Just the yes that there is an abundance of love, that love is all that there is and there is a never-ending supply. It is not the love. Love as a word isn't it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not the meaning that the world has given to love. In the world, the ego uses the word love. The ego uses an identification of love and says there are different kinds of love. It's all in parcels and parts. And there's all degrees and levels of love. And they all mean different things to different people. And everybody joins in that and has completely forgotten that love has absolutely nothing to do with what humanity has said about love or demonstrated about love. If you believe that there are different kinds of love and different degrees of love, it's all a mistake. It's a mistaken identity. It's a mistaken concept. To love in union, to love in equality, to love without conditions, is to see the divine, to see the innocent, to see the beauty and perfection in everything and everyone. Every identity of the belief of love in this world says, I'm giving you a piece. I'm giving you a portion. This is the portion you deserve because of the role that I have given you. And some roles deserve more and some deserve less. So we don't even call it love when we believe that there are acquaintances, neighbors, bosses, clients, servants in the world, gas station attendants, box boys, repair people, Those aren't our beloveds. Those are identities that we have given each one, and we parse out to them what we believe they deserve because of their station and their role that we have given them. And that all has to be mushed up into a big ball and put on the altar and set on fire, because it has absolutely no validity. It has nothing to do with love. The ego, in its wanting to hold a separate identity, gives you the name of love and gives you a world that you help make that says, oh no, these all make sense, we all agree. I don't know my neighbor, so what? They're just over there someplace. Are they here? Are they coming into your heart? Because every beloved is the oneness. Are you attached to different roles that you've given different beloveds and really believe that they mean more? This is blasphemy to the world. That you would not believe that the beloveds who came in the role of your parents have more or less meaning to you because of the role that you have given them and that they have agreed with. That you are not willing to see them as the divine, as the wholeness of God. And that in past lives you probably changed roles with them and were different identities. And that the identities have nothing to do with the perfection of the heir to the king. Or that you believe because you've known someone longer that they have a more valid place in your relationship box. These are all the pieces and parts that have to be questioned and be let go, because they are in the way. They are the mirage, so that you can't see the truth of wholeness. Does this make them less by taking away their roles? No, it opens them to, and it opens you to the magnificence and wholeness of the oneness, of the holy union. This is what Jesus has referred to as the specialness. The specialness of relationship is, I believe, that we have a special connection and that you have something that I need, you in particular, and you have to give it to me, and I am not whole without you giving me this. And all the roles in the world have been given all that different indicators of specialness. But it's all holding you in a mirage that says we're different and there isn't enough. And some should have more and some should have less. So let's extend this into even more shaking and quaking. Every beloved that you have held as murderers, every beloved that you have held as wrongdoers, every beloved that you have held as unacceptable, that have sinned against the world in some way, according to agreements. Those are the beloveds who have to be brought into the heart as the Christ, as the wholeness, and given a place on the throne of love, because every beloved is carrying the same identity. How could it be possible that someone who is living a good life lives the same identity as someone who is named a murderer? Because every belief in irritation, every belief in condemnation of any kind, which includes irritation, which includes upset of any kind to any beloved, is the same thing as murder, because it is not love. And only love is real, and the rest is illusion. And there is no, just because it has different various levels and degrees and identities, it's all the same. Now the beauty of recognizing this, the beauty of accepting this is the road to freedom. Because every beloved believes in their own self-hatred. Every beloved believes that they are wrong and bad deep within. Nobody holds that too clearly. That's what projection's for. The role of projection is to try to get rid of the self-hatred that you can't stand from within. The belief of unworthiness. And you spend most of your time within the world until it's time to remember. You spend most of your time blaming the past, because you want to get away from the condemnation, believing that God is condemning you for your wrongdoing, for your unworthiness, for your hatred within. But none of that is true. It's all self-projected. It's all self-inflicted. And that's where the healing is. The willingness to let go of that false identity of pain and suffering, and to stop projecting it on everyone else and making someone either special by saying, I let you into my club, but not those guys. And now, because I let you into my club, you owe me. You owe me to make me feel better. You owe me to give me what I'm believing that I need from you, that I believed was missing. And this is the game. This is the game that humanity plays. So how can you step out of this trance and embrace the innocence and wholeness by questioning the validity of what you are thinking and projecting all day long, and making your world be what you think it is, out of your beliefs that you are not whole and complete, that you are not the heir to the throne, the heir to the king. And then beyond being the heir, that you are the divine. You're not even waiting anymore. You're just accepting. I am whole and complete And I could see peace instead of what I'm seeing now if I choose to question the validity of my mind and my thoughts and what I think I know. Is it a practice? Absolutely. Is it a practice that the ego likes? Absolutely not. Is it to keep your focus on the purpose of your incarnation and your trust in what the masters have promised? Yes. And for a while it's a vigilance, because there's no other way to question the trance. The trance is everything that you think, everything that you think you know. And yet, it's just a shift like that into the light, into awareness. That's why so many beloveds have had awarenesses, because the veil is so thin. It seems so thick when you're in it and you're believing in it and you're giving your loyalty to it. It seems impossible to heal. And yet, there is a power of love, a power of oneness, a power of God, that when you question the validity of your thoughts, the validity of your beliefs, when you question that, all the power of love comes to serve that questioning. And a miracle is right there waiting. The miracle is there waiting because love is serving all the time. Love is always in service of your remembering. All you have to do is question just a little bit. What was I thinking that I was knowing here? And what did I think I wanted, and what was it for? Just to shake out the trance and recognize that you've given everything the meaning that it has, and that you don't have to follow that. To not follow the meaning that you have given everything is a leap of faith. It is a leap of faith, because everything in you wants to follow the old way. Everything in you of the ego, of identity, of the normal. This is normal. I like to follow normal. And the other element that is resisting is that belief that if you have control, you will be safe. That your control means something. And that the more you try to control your world, the safer you are. But every beloved has recognized that that doesn't happen. It's a nice illusion, but it doesn't happen. The more control that you think you have, the more fear you have. Every time you try to be in control of something, it generates fear. And caution and suspicion and the past. So to let go and surrender the moment into the hands of God and really want to be shown a new way is a leap of faith. Absolutely a leap of faith. There was a beloved who asked a question that is perfect in this moment. So the question is it really necessary to give up opinions? I'm afraid my friends will think I'm weird. when I'm with others, it seems that opinions are what it's all about. So this beloved has seen a deeper truth, and yet it shows how scary it is, because what the ego says is, and I have to give up all these opinions? That's what everybody is doing all the time. How am I going to fit in anymore? How am I going to belong to the world if I am not joining everybody in opinions? So here in this question is the identity with sacrifice. The belief that you are sacrificing your opinions is one of the ego's favorite strategies. To believe that you are sacrificing your world is to believe that there is something to sacrifice. So you have to believe in that moment that you're giving up something that has value. And that is the game of remembering. It's going from the belief that your world has value to trusting a new way that you aren't clear of, that you can't control, and that you don't know how to walk that way. But the time that you can actually let go of the opinions and not see it as a sacrifice is when the opinions turn around and bite you. Because somehow through your opinions you keep digging holes that take you to fear again and again and again. To see something as a sacrifice, you have to believe that it has validity and value. But every beloved in the spiritual journey, once you've stepped consciously into a spiritual journey, every beloved has to come to the realization that, oh, this does not bring me peace. These opinions don't bring me peace. These opinions don't bring me a sense of wholeness. They don't bring me harmony. And I'm not able to love more deeply through these opinions. I'm not more connected through my opinions. My opinions are actually what is keeping me in the belief of separation. They're actually what affirm that I am without, that I am separate. How can you be one with another beloved if you both have different opinions? Where is the oneness? Opinions are made to have opposites. That's why they're called opinions. Because they just mean they're your opinion, your perception, your idea of what you think something means. But if you take the divine truth, I have given everything all the meaning that it has, and that meaning only comes from my past, your opinions are just a reflection of your past, of what you think you know. And you're wanting in that opinion, so here comes the questioning. When you're offering an opinion, which can be a judgment, whatever you want to call it, sometimes you look at it as fact, which is even funnier. But it's actually just opinion. But that opinion is wanting something. You can't offer an opinion unless you're offering something to get something. You have to want either that someone agrees with you, so then you feel better because you feel more in control and you're right, or you want to convince someone of something and it's still about being right. Can you accept and can you sink into the possibility that being right will not bring you to happiness, and that you would rather be happy than right? Then where do the opinions go? Well, I can't just let people walk all over me. I have to have opinions to hold the line of my control. It's all built on the premise that there are enemies. It's all built on the premise that you have to control things. And it's built on the premise that someone is going to take advantage of you if you are not forceful enough with your opinions. Where is God? Where is the divine? Where is the power of love in that moment that you think that you need to defend or protect or be right about something? Where is the flow of love? And how can your perception of your world ever be dismantled if your opinions keep being used as a defense system to hold it together? Somewhere you have to begin to question the opinions. Question, what is this for? What am I wanting to get in this moment? For this beloved who is reflecting what every beloved is afraid of. I'm afraid my friends will think I'm weird. That's everybody's fear. How can I step into a communion of love when I'm afraid I will be rejected by others who don't agree with me and who are in their own defense systems? There comes a moment in everyone's spiritual journey where you're going to take that leap of faith. And it's not about proselytizing. It is not about bringing, I'm going to tell you all about the truth of my spiritual way. It isn't that. It's living it. It's offering love. It's offering peace and harmony and refusing to do battle with anyone. It's refusing to have to be right. It's refusing to get, that catch, that impulse that wants to engage and afraid of losing everyone. Because that's what the ego demonstrates, is that there is a fear of losing. And that others will reject you. But what you're really afraid of is other egos rejecting you. You're not afraid of love. Well, you are afraid of love. But it isn't love that is going to reject you. It is other egos. And to tell you the truth, those egos will never be able to offer you love anyways. So you have nothing to lose. And you have everything to open to the truth of love, because you're here to serve these beloveds. You're here not to be afraid of losing your friendships, but to offer love, because everyone in this world is here searching for love. Every beloved is here because they've incarnated in the belief of separation and being without. And at some point, every beloved has to take that leap of faith to want to offer love and harmony and peace to every beloved, instead of the old agreements of pain and suffering. There's pain and suffering when you're with your friends who will think you're weird. That is pain and suffering. To be suspicious of these beloveds that you call your friends. And everyone does that. Everyone is holding a suspicion and a caution with everyone. And that's what the call is, to let go. Is to come naked. To come naked and learn to love. And to recognize that there is nothing that can damage you or take anything from you. That you cannot be harmed by anyone else. But that you can serve everyone by offering love. And the truth of love. Of peace and harmony and innocence. This is the way of love. This is the way of remembering love, is to offer that love to everyone. So another beloved asked a question. Many teachings speak in terms of awakening and a future happening, and either, number one, it's up to the seeker to accept it, or the seeker cries for it but must wait upon God's timing for it to be granted. Can I actually oppose the will of God if it's up to me? And might it be that what I think I'm still waiting for is already accomplished and I just think I'm waiting? My friend says there is only one thought between you and awakening, and that thought is, I am not awake. That is what the thought is. I am not awake. It is up to the seeker to accept it. There is nothing in God, in the wholeness, in love, that is about God's timing for it to be granted. You are already awake. You're just not aware of it. You're just believing in sleep. You're believing in a dream. There is nothing in the truth of God that is holding back or waiting for you to be right at the right time. It's all from here, because it's only here in the belief of separation, which has nothing to do with God. In the belief of separation, because you made a world that says, I am separate, and you made a world that expresses that by different forms, by time, by levels, by degrees, that's the world that has to be relinquished, because you made it, and you're the only one that can be willing to let it go. So and might it be that I think I'm still waiting for what is already accomplished, and I just think I'm waiting? Yes, you think you're waiting. You think you're waiting because you believe in the world that you see. You believe you are separate, which that's all awakening is the recognition of oneness. Nothing changes, except that your world disappears as you know it. Not the truth, but the identity of separate selves, of separate concepts, of an identity that is less and that can die. Your belief in death is ultimately what you're letting go of. If you are eternal, and you are not a body, you are spirit, you are the divine, And you have worn many costumes,
Mhm.
different bodies, different times. If that illusion fades away, falls away, there's absolutely nothing to protect. If you are eternal, all protection is about the body. All the belief of defense is about being a body and about being limited, and if you are the body, then you must be able to die. But if there is no death, and you accept this, and you step into the wholeness, then what could there be to protect? What would there be to have? What would there be to gain? What would there be to have ownership of when you're whole and complete?
Mhm.
It is a single thought that says, I am not the truth of God. I am not whole. I am not complete. And there is the belief of a separate me. The I am whole, is everything. It isn't the I, the little me, that is included, but it isn't the identity of a little me that wakes up. It's the identity of a little me that disappears. And the I am emerges. The oneness,
Mhm.
the wholeness, the beauty, the perfection, the innocence.
Mhm.
It is essential that these questions come to your own wondering, that you question the validity of your identity of separation, moment to moment, and then in the deeper, is there something that's holding me back from awakening? What is it? I promise you, it is always on your side. It is always where you have choice. There is nothing in God, nothing in love, that holds that you have a particular difficult healing to do. All the belief of difficulty, all the belief of the identity of the past that says, I am too damaged, I am too entrenched, I am too unmature, that I'm not spiritually mature enough. All of that is concepts of the self. It's all beliefs of limitation, and it's all a defense system. That's all that it is a defense system, because it keeps you where you are. It isn't because it has truth or because it has validity. It's because everything that you keep as a separate identity, you use as a defense to protect your identity, to protect where you are, because could be unconsciously there is a resistance to letting go because you have believed that control was really important. And many beloveds unconsciously believe that they're going to control their spiritual journey too, like they've controlled the rest of their life. And it doesn't work, because that identity of control, it doesn't want you to wake up. It's not your friend. Does everybody step into that relationship with control? Yes. Every beloved has a relationship with control when they're in the belief of separation. There is a belief, a universal belief, a humanity's belief that the more control you have, the safer you are. Except it has nothing to do with safety, and it has everything to do with misery. It has everything to do with fear. So now is your yes, your choice, and you have it in every moment. I can choose peace instead of what I think I know right now. I can choose peace instead of what I believe I see. I can choose peace instead of what's running in this moment. I can choose. I can forgive. I can forgive the false identity that I've made up. I can forgive. I can let go. I can trust, and I can put my life into the hands of God. Say, take me. Take me. Unravel everything that I've made up. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know all the nooks and crannies where I've put everything and how I've made every cell of this being into a belief of separation. But I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. Undo me. Undo the me that I made up. And let the divine shine in its totality. You have the power within you. It's your yes. It's your willingness. And it's what you're here for. Not just here in this moment, in this sanctuary, but it's what you're here for on this earth plane. To remember. You came in the belief of separation and made a body, made an identity. And now it's the yes of letting go. The yes. Transform. I ask for the healing. And healing is just remembering. But the healing is available. The healing is transformation. And it's just your yes that brings that transformation. And then just trusting the unraveling. Don't be afraid of the unraveling. Don't be afraid of losing the foundation of your knowing. Don't be afraid of, I can't see upside down and inside out anymore. It's okay. Love is in the power of healing. And love is what you're surrendering to. And trusting that. As we close, finding the willingness to accept healing in whatever and however it shows up. And to trust that once you've said yes, the divine alchemy of love is serving you. And maybe it looks like things are falling apart. Welcome the falling apart. At some point, there has to be an unraveling. And the more there is trust in that letting go, the easier the transformation. Healing does not have to be difficult. But resistance is what holds that difficulty in place. Trusting that there is a power of love that is transforming is trusting that things may look upside down or inside out. So what? It's just a letting go. It's just a washing in the river. It's just being sun-drenched and baked into a new awareness. It's allowing the fever of love to burn through and make into ash all of the false identity. The willingness for the funeral pyre to just burn away what was never true and allow.
Mm-hmm.
As we close in this moment, the willingness for that yes to continue, the willingness to see every beloved as the wholeness of God, going beyond form, going beyond and seeing with the heart, to offer love and to step out of knowing. And to accept the abundance of love that is always present, always here, to flow in the light, in love. And in this abundance, as we gratefully receive the abundance of donations that allow this divine love to serve humanity, and letting every heart be in the gratitude of that abundance, gratitude of one heart and one breath. And to thank God that all the world of separation was just mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.